You've probably been scrolling through endless listings, wondering if any of these high-tech massage chairs are actually worth the space they take up, the price tag, and the hype. You want something that will actually feel good after a long day, that won't be a noisy eyesore, and that you can live with for months without second-guessing the purchase. The risk of splurging on a chair that sounds impressive on paper but ends up as a pricey coat rack is real, especially when the market is flooded with glossy ads and vague specs. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's talk about the Kyota M380 Genki. This isn't a just an authorture that throws a handful of vague massage modes at you. It's built around a few practical ideas: a full-body, 360-degree roll that mimics the motion of a professional therapist, a zero-gravity recline that actually relieves pressure on the spine, and a voice-controlled interface that lets you stay relaxed while you adjust settings. The question is whether those ideas translate into daily relief that feels worth the investment. First, who really benefits from a setup like this? If you spend most of your day at a desk, you know that a stiff lower back and tight shoulders can become a constant companion. The 4-node traveling rollers on the Genki sweep from head to toe, hitting each major muscle group in a way that feels more like a therapist moving their hands along your spine rather than a mechanical vibration. For someone who does a lot of sitting, that rolling motion can loosen those tight bands after a few minutes and make the difference between a nagging ache and a manageable tension release. People who train hard think weightlifting, CrossFit, or long-distance running often schedule regular sports massage appointments. Those sessions are pricey and can be hard to fit into a busy week. The Genki's automatic programs, paired with manual controls for air intensity and foot rollers, let you replicate a post-workout recovery routine at home. I've heard athletes talk about using a deep tissue program right after a leg day, then switching to a gentler, relax mode for the next morning. Because the chair can target specific zones, you can focus the foot rollers on calves and ankles when you need to speed up circulation, then let the upper body rollers handle shoulder knots later in the session. If you're looking for a spotty replacement, the Chromotherapy lights add a subtle mood boost. They're not a medical treatment, but the soft reds, blues, and greens can help set a calming environment, especially if you're using the chair before bedtime. The voice command, "Hey Kyota," means you don't have to fumble with a remote while you're already trying to unwind. Just say "increase intensity" or "switch to Shiatsu," and the chair adjusts handy for anyone who wants a truly hands-free experience. Now, let's be honest about the downsides. The chair measures 50 by 30 by 40 inches and holds up to 200 pounds, which is a solid footprint for most living rooms, but it can be a problem in tighter apartments or studios. You'll need to clear a decent amount of floor space and make sure the wall behind it can handle the slight sway when the rollers engage. The unit also needs a power outlet nearby. The cord isn't hidden, so you'll want to think about cable management before you set it in place. Noise is another practical factor. The 4 rollers move relatively smoothly, but when the airbag system inflates for the foot rollers, there's a low that's noticeable if you're a light sleeper. In my own testing, the sound never rose above a soft whir, but if you plan to use the chair while watching a movie at low volume, you might notice a faint background. It's not a deal breaker, but it's worth keeping in mind if absolute silence is a must for you. Control simplicity can be a double-edged sword. The voice interface is intuitive, yet the manual panel still has a fair number of buttons for fine-tuning. For someone who enjoys tweaking intensity and selecting specific zones, that depth is a plus. However, if you just want one press and go button for a quick massage, the learning curve could feel a bit steep. The manual does a decent job of walking you through the combos, but you'll spend a few minutes getting comfortable before you can truly relax. Let's talk durability and long-term comfort. The upholstery is a sleek black that fits modern decor, and the zero-gravity recline locks into place firmly. Over time, many chairs with heavy mechanical parts can start to feel less smooth, but the Genki's 4-node system is designed to distribute wear across all rollers, which should keep the motion consistent longer. The 200 pounds capacity covers most users, but if you're on the heavier side, you might want to double-check the weight limit before committing. So, who should skip the Genki? If you're on a strict budget, there are cheaper models that offer basic kneading but lack the full-body sweep and voice control. If you have a very small space, say, a one-room apartment with limited floor area, the footprint may be a deal breaker.